You're starting up Sensible Lending Solutions again. You're actively looking to recruit people.
Yes.
Can you explain real quick, just really brief, the opportunity, why there's an opportunity for people to work in this position right now?
Okay, the opportunity is, it's huge. There's no other way really to describe it. Again, some of the things we talked about earlier in earlier conversations, you have banks that are failing, they can no longer lend. The economy's in trouble, small business owners can't get money because of the bank situation. There's this perfect storm out there that there's opportunity in the marketplace because lending's coming back, and that's a fact. There's going to be a very, very large polar shift from $1 trillion in bank loans that are going to be moved into Wall Street, hedge funds, real estate investment trusts, life companies, and there's going to be this shift, and literally there is $1 trillion of commercial ballooning loans that are going to go into Wall Street. There has to be a middleware that's going to help with that transition, and that's us. And it's going to be, you know, the SLS reps or agents or brokers, commercial brokers out there that are going to help facilitate a lot of this wealth or money into Wall Street. So the opportunity is, I mean, there's $1 trillion that has to change hands. Whoever's touching that $1 trillion, it's going to rub off on them. And it's huge, huge opportunity. Millionaires will be made all day long on this.
When you say lending's coming back, you mean private lending?
I mean, private lending is coming back. What's happening is, since the banks are getting squeezed out of lending by the Fed, and again, that's a separate conversation, Wall Street, which is very volatile right now, there's no certainty with our administration. There's no consumer confidence. So Wall Street, when the market collapsed in 2008, a lot of the money, it didn't burn up. I liken money to energy. I always say that, where it didn't disappear, wasn't burn up. It just went into very deep pockets, billions and billions of dollars, if not trillions of dollars. This money is sitting. There's fear in the marketplace. There's no sure bet in the market. And again, the administration's in trouble. So this money has to start earning for these companies. And now they're turning their attention to the most logical place is commercial-backed real estate, which will ultimately, when packaged up, will become bonds. And we're the company that's going to do that. We're going to manufacture that fuel that they need.
Okay. All right, so now that you've explained the opportunity, what type of people are you looking for to help you get this business going? Okay,
the opportunity or the reps, with my prior company, I never hired anybody from the mortgage industry. You know, just I didn't. I like people that didn't have any knowledge, that could be trained. But literally, it's an opportunity for anybody. I mean, and the money, just to give you an idea, in 2008, I had personal trainers, I had bartenders, you name it, making $20,000, $30,000 a month. I mean, my processors were making $250,000 a year. What it takes, though, is it's going to take, if you don't, you know, fortunately I have a book of business. I had 15,000 brokers under my umbrella in 2008. At the time of the market collapse, I have about 200 now. So I see deal flow every day. I'm just in a unique situation that I've made a lot of people money and I've worked with a lot of brokers, so I have a captive audience, so to speak. For somebody who's coming in who doesn't know the business, I can make it very, very easy for someone to make a lot of money if you just do what I say to do. What it does take, it takes some basic things. I mean, to get started in this business, and what's nice is you can do this from anywhere. You can start an hour a day, you can start 14 hours a day. It doesn't take a lot of loans closed each month to make significant money. The average fees that we were making in 2008 on our closed loan files was about $15,000 a loan transaction. So think about that. I mean, one loan a month, and you're in the 1% of what people make in the country. That's pretty impressive. To get started, though, you need the basics. You're going to need a phone. You're going to need a computer, use of email, and believe it or not, that's it. Most of what we do can be done online. As far as applications, I'll provide all that information. I'll provide all the training, and then you just have to go out and get the business. There's two ways to really be successful in this business. The first way, and the most difficult, it's actually the easiest and the most difficult at the same time, if that makes sense, because it's this simple. You work hard. You got to make the phone calls. If you don't have 200 brokers that are calling you, then you got to go touch 200 brokers or realtors or banks. You got to go tell the world what you do. And you know, everybody says they want to be a millionaire, but a lot of people aren't willing to pick up that call and do what it takes to become a millionaire. So you got to have the you got to have the ability or the want or the drive to make the phone calls and go to networking events and get your name out there as the small balance commercial lender in your area. Or the second way that you could be very successful at this is advertising. You know, use social media, put ads on television or in the local newspapers. If you have a budget, you can make the masses come to you. You know, these borrowers need money. The deals are everywhere because the banks aren't lending. So two ways to do it. You can do it the hard way, or you need a budget to spend properly.
Okay. Are there any license requirements for the reps to be involved in this?
Okay. Under our umbrella, we do not require any. If you're brokering, there are some licensing requirements for select states. Most states do not have licensing requirements to broker commercial loans. So if you come under our umbrella, you do not need to be licensed. But as a commercial broker in select states, you're just going to have to check.
Okay. All right, we already went over the startup costs. You know, they'll need a computer, a phone, maybe business cards.
Business cards, yep. Spend the $20. You can get them actually free, you know, online at first set. But that's essentially how I built my business, my brokerage business back in the day. Was I went through 1,000 business cards in a ridiculous amount of time. I went to networking events. I would hand my card to, you know, if I was out at a restaurant that was non-branded, I would give my card to the manager or the owner and say, hey, I'm the local lender. Or to a dry cleaner, I'm the local lender, or the nightclub. When I was younger, I would hand out my cards. 1,000 business cards, that's all I had. I had about this much knowledge. I'd worked for a hard money lender. And it took me 90 days, but I closed my first deal, made $27,000. A week later, made $17,000, and my business was born. Okay,
so my next question for you actually was, what do you feel would make people successful doing this? But you kind of already said that.
Hard work. Hard work. The beautiful part about what we do, again, is it doesn't take a lot of closed loans to make a lot of money. You close a couple a month. You know, I have this conversation with my colleagues all the time. You put in your 12-hour days now, and in a year you're working 4 or 5 hours a day, making $250,000 a year.
Do you think having a lot of the knowledge is going to make these people successful as well?
Absolutely.
Especially because this is something that's newer?
Absolutely. The good part about working with SLS and myself, my prior company, Commercial Loan Capital, our catchphrase was commercial loans made easy. Made easy for the borrower, made easier for the lender, made easier for the brokers. That's what we do. We make commercial loans easy. I provide bi-weekly trainings. We're going to do a lot of videos online about how to get into the business, teach terminology. But literally, I can teach somebody within an hour how to go out and prospect and also get enough information for me to qualify a loan. I can make it very simple for anybody to get in who wants to.
Okay. What are the incentives of other people bringing other employees into the company?
Okay, another way, and this is in my training, another way for individuals to be successful is to bring in other agents, brokers, or referral sources. We pay overrides on that. Right.
How are the contract employees compensated?
Okay, it's pretty a cut and dry formula. If you're under the SLS branch, we pay out a 50% commission split. So if we bring in a $10,000 fee, $5,000 goes to the agent. That's starting, and if you do volume, their defined volume numbers, we'll actually pay out up to 70% commission. So it's pretty cut and dry.
Okay. Who should the reps really be targeting?
Okay. Again, I always refer back to 2008 because that's when we were, what's coming back. So I refer back to 2007, 2008. This is the new boom that's coming very fast. My business back in the day was built on mortgage brokers, residential brokers, commercial mortgage brokers, helping people get financing. Still a great model. I have 200 brokers. Brokers is a good channel. The model this time around, where the business is going to come from, is a little bit different. The number one source where all the business is going to come from is banks. There's $1 trillion in ballooning commercial loans. That's a vast number of small balance commercial loans that's coming to market over the next couple of years. So be a friend of your banks. I talk to banks every single day. They're receptive. So become the local go-to guy when a bank says no or a bank has a balloon coming due. Second place is commercial realtors. A lot of property due to high foreclosures and the state of the market. A lot of realtors are going to have a glut of properties. So great, you want to become a friend of the commercial realtors. You're going to help them sell more properties. Third place is going to be your commercial mortgage brokers and your residential mortgage brokers. Become the go-to expert in your region with these folks. They'll feed you endless amount of deals once you start closing. And then obviously the fourth place is borrowers. They're everywhere. Every single day you probably come in contact with 4 or 5 people that may own a commercial property. Every day. Retail store.
Yeah.
If you have an apartment, the management office is right there. Restaurants, the gas station, you name it. I mean, it's everywhere around us. Get your business cards. Become the local go-to commercial person. You can't fail.
Do you think it's a good idea for reps to also target people that are contacted, maybe like lawyers or accountants?
Absolutely. Another wonderful, wonderful source. Lawyers and accountants represent business owners.
Yeah.
And sometimes when somebody's having issues getting financing, a borrower will call their accountant. So an accountant is an awesome source for commercial leads.
Okay. What do you think made you successful when you started in this business?
That's funny. What made me successful, I kind of had a unique background. I came from owning a small business. I was a restaurant guy. So I know what it's like being on that other end of the table applying for a loan with a bank. I was always turned down. I had an all-cash business, losses on my tax returns. So I had a unique perspective of being a borrower. And then I'd worked for a hard money lender. And then I had worked very, very briefly for a wholesale lender. And then brokering, I kind of found where the money was. And it's still what I do today. I know where the money is that just most people don't. And then after that, I just had the drive and the willpower to do it. I just didn't take no for an answer. And my success literally was I just told the world, I have money. And they needed it, and they need it more now today, and that's it. You just have to raise your hand and be loud about it, and again, you'll be successful.
Did you find a niche at all with targeting the right market? Did you see success in maybe touching the small business owner compared to?
Absolutely, absolutely. Our niche, and I've never aspired to be anything more than this, and it comes from me being a small business owner, is we're small balance lenders. We go up to $3 million now. I think we're going to be going up to $5 million. I have programs for larger loans, but we're not doing a $500 million. We're not the $1 billion casino guy or the airport guy, that's doing these $100 million transactions. Our niche is the small balance, small business owner that needs help.
Okay. What type of resistance do you think the reps are going to face?
The only resistance that I could ever imagine someone facing is just not having enough knowledge. They're going to get some curveballs and some questions thrown at them that they won't know. this business or any business is all about on-the-job training anyway. I have a training manual that's probably 150 pages long. We're going to do all these educational videos. The only way you're really going to learn it is go out, tell people what you do, and let them ask questions. You won't get resistance. You know, people are going to expect answers, but it's okay to tell somebody you're new. Just say, look, I have the money, you asked a good question, I can call Chris or one of the other reps, I'll find out in 2 minutes.
Okay.
So it is okay to say you're new.
Okay. Alright, and this is the last question. Do you have any advice for the new reps to help them get started successfully?
Absolutely. If you really are considering doing this, get started now. Jump on one of my trainings, watch the videos, read the training guide. Again, I have a lot of newer reps that are very, very smart people, and they tend to overcomplicate it. Believe it or not, I mean, there's complexity to what we do, but it's not. It's as simple as this. We have $1 billion to lend out to small business owners that banks can't help. Go tell them. It's as simple as that. If you print up your business cards and you hand them out every day and you make some phone calls and you send some emails, you can't fail at this business. But I can't tell you how many times I'll have agents come in and they'll be sitting at, you know, our desks and phones, and I don't hear them making any phone calls. I'm on the phone all day long. It's just what I do. I'm a deal maker. I'm on with the brokers. I'm getting fed a lot now. But if you're not in that situation, you need to be on that phone. You need to be calling that broker saying, hey, we have new money, or that bar, or we have new money, or getting those cards out. If you do that, you will succeed by mistake.